My name is Goodness Yakundwe.
What do you do?
I'm a cinematographer, film editor, and also a businessman.
So why did you choose this business?
You should ask why I chose the business. I think it's passion. It's what I love doing. It's kind of something that I've been always once doing. Right from while I was a child, I love entertainment, and whenever I sit back to watch a movie or programs on TV back then, I always loved the way the presenters, how the things have been done. So in fact, right from childhood, I've always loved entertainment. So I think while I choose the business, I choose it out of passion and love towards it.
Okay. So can you share with us your entrepreneur's journey, how you started?
How I started, well, sometimes I would, let me say, sometimes it's not that easy anyway, but it all started while I was still around that kind, should I say, around that kind, 12 to 13 years. There was a time I went to Lagos anyway. So I went to Lagos, though I went to see my people. One of my uncle was a bishop then, one of those Orthodox church. So I went visiting. So when I went there, after a few months, I met some friends. And it's something all my family knows about, they know that I love entertainment. Due to the fact that sometimes I would just, in fact, in my family, I'm always entertaining people. So they know I love entertainment. So one fateful day, a friend of mine called me. He said, they are doing audition. Will I love to follow them since I know how to make people laugh, love acting and all those stuff. Will I join them? I said, though at that time I didn't really know what was audition. So I said, okay, no wahala, since it's all about entertainment, maybe when I get there, we'll get to know what they are doing there. So I joined them, I joined him, and we went, I think we were 3 or 4 of us there. So when we got there, here and behold, it was a film, a kind of, they were making films. So at that point, they were part of the auditioning. So I was like, so this what they call audition, where they call people to come and, showcase their talent and all that. At the end of the day, we'll pick the best actor. And, so I was like, wow. So at that point, I didn't really wanted to, act. All my focus was, let me see what they normally do. I understand I was behind the camera and all that. So at the end of the day, I was like, I felt, I began to love it more and more. When I began to see what they were doing, I was like, wow, so this is how they actually do it. At the end of the day, we'll get this result. Wow, it's nice. So I began to love it more and more. From there, I began to grow up. So after then, when I came back to Port Harcourt, after my secondary school, after I wrote my WAEC and NECO, so I was asked, in our place, it's common after your school. If your parent doesn't have money to push you to a higher institution, they will ask you what kind of job would you like to learn, what skill would you love to learn. So I told them I want to go into filmmaking. They were like, filmmaking, how? Does it bring money? At that point, though my people love films, I can tell you in my house, like if you come back then, if you come in my house, there's this stuff they put films that stands. In fact, if we were to open film shop, I believe we are going to be rich because of number of films they buy every day and every week. So we're like, are you sure this is what you want to go into? I say, yes, I love it. They said, okay, no wahala. So what you just need to do is for you to look for someone that would understand where you're going to train. As I did, my cousin's sister was into photography, though she didn't, she was not shooting, she was editing, she was into photo editing. So I asked her, okay, see, since you're into this line, can you just help me find someone to teach me? as at that time. She said, okay, yeah, she has people. That someone, okay, I said, fine. So the following day, she gave me someone's number. I called and I went. That's how I went to the guy's place. He started teaching me how to edit. Though I start from editing, so he teaches me how to edit. As time goes on. At that point, I didn't really understand. It was as if I didn't really get what I wanted. So after 1 year plus, I finished learning from him. I discovered that when I meet other people, when I see what they do, understand, I was like, but this is not what I learned now. My organ no show me this one, my organ no show me this. So I was like eager, I wanted to do something different from what he was showing me. So I discovered that what he was showing me was just the basic. Understand? Even despite the time I spent, understand, what he was showing me was basic. So I said, okay, fine, I need to push myself, So I went into it full time. I started meeting people, from there, learn from different handle. That's how. So the more I was meeting people, the more I was learning, the more I discovered that the industry is big. So to me, I was like, industry, anyway, you want big reach, even if you want, anyhow you want large reach, I will follow you. So I have to keep on pushing and meeting people.
So what made you become an entrepreneur instead of a salary earner?
Before you become Oga or before you become an entrepreneur, you need to start from somewhere. You start from serving. Yes, I will say it. I served. Yes, actually served for years. So before I was like, the essence of me serving was I have to gather experience before I decided to say, okay, fine, it's high time I become my own Oga. I need to start doing things on my own and all that. I think the main purpose was that I really needed time. When I mean time, I really needed time for me to expand more on my knowledge, on my skills. If you're doing your personal stuff, you have more time for you to understand. Not like maybe you're working for someone. Maybe you were to be at the office by 8, and maybe by 7:49 you're not at the office. People will start asking, why is not at office? You must make sure that you are there. So at that point, you'll be working from morning till night. You won't really have time for you to like develop your own skill, because sometimes you work from Sunday to Sunday. You work from Sunday to Sunday, just like when it has to do with entertainment. The time you really have more clients, or when you really have jobs, are Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, where people do events. So between that period, you must report to office, or you must report to work, if any. So at that point, you don't really have much time for you to like develop your own skill, apart from going to the office, try to do one or two things and all that. So I just decided, okay, fine, I need to stay on my own and try to develop my own skill while I'm still doing other things, and at the same time also trying to do other business to add up towards.
So when you say other business, what other business do you
Uh, well, I'm also into logistic business. Yes, I'm also into logistic business.
Okay, so about logistic business, let's talk about it. How did you go into logistic business? How did you start logistic business?
Well, how I started logistic business was a friend of mine actually introduced me into a logistic business, though it wasn't part of the plans. But there's this saying that always say that you should not put all your eggs in one basket, and you no go fit lie down for one side sleep, as the sleep will also turn. So you must, as a business minded person, you must not have one channel whereby money comes in. You must have different businesses that I don't think there's anybody that doesn't like that sound. You look a lot, you know. And I'm not sure there's anybody that doesn't like it. So everybody love it as well as me. I like money well. So I was like, okay, fine. though it was my prayer anyway. Like I was looking for a business whereby I can be doing that will not consume my time, that will not take me away, from my normal, my passion as in what I'm doing, which is the entertainment business. Let me just put it that way. Understand? So I never wanted something that would take me out from entertainment. Understand? Or filmmaking, or editing, or cinematography. So I just wanted a business that can be at the middle. I don't know if you understand me. So that if I'm still doing it, it's fetching me money. At the same time, I'm still having time to do this other. I'm still having time for my entertainment business or the editing and for the cinematography. So a friend of mine said, "Oh, can't you do this?" I was like, "Oh yeah, explain. Let me see." So she explained and I said, "Okay, fine. I think this is God answering my prayers." So I venture into it.
So how do you manage to do the three businesses? Cinematography, editing, and logistic business?
And it's simple. If we should be talking about cinematography, cinematography and editing is almost the same thing. When I say the same thing, is just like you going out to the field to shoot as a cinematographer, or some people call it. If I say cinematographer, I think some people take it to be photography and videography joined together. If I'm talking about videography now, if I'm going out to the field to shoot, already before I start shooting, I have this concept in my mind. Understand? Maybe a client come now to book for maybe a wedding or any event. Immediately you book me, all my mind will be on that job. Okay, if I will write down my shots, I will write down my plans. Okay, this is how I'm going to do. If I get there, maybe I'm using two cameras. If I'm going there, I'm putting this one on master, I'm using this one. So at the end of the day, in fact, sometimes while I'm shooting, I'm already editing it. So when I get back home or when I get to the office, it doesn't take me much job. Understand? I know where it started and I know where it ends. I know what happened in between the event. Understand? So if there are maybe things I needed to like avoid, it won't really take me much. Understand? Because I'm the one that did it. Or even if I send someone, at that venue I must be there, so I see what is going on. So at the end of the day, when I'm back home or back to the office and I'm editing it, it will be very, very easy for me. So combining cinematography with editing is just as simple as. Then talking about the logistic business, it doesn't really take as in doesn't really take much time. Why I say it doesn't really take much time is that most of my clients, I control them online. I don't even see them one on one. Understand? It's something you book. Okay, fine. I need you to drop this here. I need you to drop this here. Send me your address. Send me who you want to drop it with. Send me this. Send me that. All your details and everything. Just on phone or WhatsApp. You send everything on WhatsApp and every other thing. Before you know it, everything is being delivered. Is that to you or to whomsoever you want to deliver to? So what we just need to do is, in fact, let me say 80% of it is phone call and online. So we don't really need to understand. I don't really need to like come meet you or start running from here to here. Already it's not stressful. Already we have people on ground. We have pilots on ground that are standby to pick up those things. So when it comes, so we have all our pilots on ground that are ready to pick up those things. So when a client calls or when jobs comes like that, okay, hello, you're stand by. Okay, fine. Pick up this, pick up this, pick up that, pick up that. Drop it here, drop it here. Don't drop it here. Understand? You send all the details to them, and at the end of the day, everything is being delivered accurately, and your money gets to your account.
So do you find fulfillment doing these businesses?
Yeah, should I say yes? Should I say yes? Yes. But as a businessman, I don't think you should always, or I should say, let me just put it to my own. As a business person, I should not say I'm fulfilled. In the other way around too, I should say that I'm fulfilled. Why I should say I'm fulfilled is that at least I'm able to get something, understand, at hand. At least it's in progress. Yes. But in the other way around, as Nigerians now, as a human being, you still need more, more alert. And you still need something to, something to do that will bring money. Like, if I see, even if it is 100 ways of making money, understand? I don't think I will be tired of making, for the fact that it's dropping something in my account every day. I will do it for the fact that it's legit. Understand? I won't say, I have 2 already, or I have 3 already, I have 4 already, I have 5 already. No, you keep on, I don't know whether money they tire person, but money not they tire me, and
Okay. So, what are the challenges you face in this business of yours?
Let me talk about the cinematography aspect of it, or the editing aspect of it. I believe in every business, or in every skill, or in anything you're doing, you must face challenges. You must face 1 or 2, and those challenges you face, the ability of you solving them is the experience. Sometimes they'll ask you, how many years experience do you have? Those challenges you face and you're able to solve them, those are your experience. So if you're a business person, or you are a skilled person and you don't face challenges, that simply means that you never start. You need to pray for challenges, or you need to find way, enter challenge, find way, come out. So so you don't get experience. So that is it. I have so many experiences, I have so many experiences, and if I begin to count them now, well, I don't know whether I go fit to go stop today, but at least I could fit just try put small. Understand? I go just the should I say the toughest one, or the hard ones. When we talk about the cinematography, there are times you go to jobs, at the end of the day you come back. All these things are, how should I put it? Like, if their technologies, or how should I even put it for our viewers out there to understand? Okay, those things are fragile, so there are sometimes you come back after shooting, you slot in your card. At the end of the day, is either the jobs are corrupt, or you discover that your jobs are blur, as in you can't really get a good footage out of what you've done. Sometimes the hunger they cause them, sometimes the tiredness. So sometimes you be viewing from your LED screen, from your screen, thinking that it's sharp, but at the end of the day, when you take it to a wider screen, you discover that what you were doing was just out of point. So you're like, but I did this thing right now. Why is it like this? You didn't do it right. It was because what you tell the camera, or what you tell your gears or gadget to do, that's what they will do. Understand? So it's less for you to come and get your your end result. So at that point, that is a challenge. It has happened to me. And another one is, maybe sometimes you be editing. Let me just talk about editing. Sometimes you be editing, and it will be as if your village people just remembered you. Everything will just crash. Your system will crash. At that point, you won't be able to retrieve those jobs again. And sometimes it's either you go back. Maybe God helps you. You backed up the job. You need to start afresh. And sometimes most of the software we use in editing are funny. So sometimes if they are not updated, or something is wrong, something must be wrong somewhere, whereby you happen to lose your jobs while editing. Everything will just crash, and you need to start from afresh. Sometimes clients will be waiting for the job, like I need it tomorrow, and at that point everything just scatter. Sometimes there are some clients that won't really understand, so you start shouting and all that. There are a lot of challenges. I can't really count them. There are a lot of challenges. Sometimes you prepare for a particular program, getting there you discover that you don't forget one thing, and that thing is very important stuff. If you don't get that thing, if you be maybe a pin, if you be saying a battery, if you be saying a memory card, maybe out of rush or something, you just forget something, So delay is part of the challenge. Disappointment is part of the challenge. I won't tell you that there's nobody in this industry that has been doing 100%, as in right from the first day he or she entered into the business or into the industry. Understand? I can't tell you that. Everybody has their own way of making mistakes in the industry, and all that. All those things are all challenges.
So how about the logistic business?
In the logistic business, it's just the normal. It's almost the same thing. Well, as it's almost the same thing. Clients will always call you. I need this thing. You know, sometimes it's a product. I need to use this product in the next 1 hour. Can it get here? You understand? Sometimes within you will say, okay, fine, no problem, and within you are convinced that within that 1 hour you can deliver that stuff. But you know how Port Harcourt be now, traffic and all that. At the end of the day, traffic and every other thing, distance and all that, maybe sometimes rain fall, understand, and you are not able to meet up. Sometimes, there's one funny thing. Sorry for this. There's one funny thing in Port Harcourt. Rain fit fall for Rumukushi, they fall for artillery. Yeah. And rain fit fall for artillery, they fall for LLM. You understand? Sometimes we call it community rain. You understand? Just the fall for this community, no fall for this community. Sometimes that rain might not get to where your client is. They won't believe you are rainfall or something. I'm just talking about that rain aspect of. So you have to disappoint your client based on timing. So that one is another challenge. And I think another challenge now is this news that is the news now that is on ground. People taking people's parcel to run away, and the killings. Some of the pilots are being killed at the end of the day when they get to drop or pick up something or something, they will get killed or something. I think that's part of the challenge. That's part of the challenge we are facing, which God is really helping us. Which God is really helping us.
So how do you ensure that your riders are safe? That they do not encounter all these problems like kidnapping or your client's goods. The rider will take your client goods and run away and all of that. So how do you manage those things?
Talking about the pilot safety, let me put it that way. Talking about safety and also talking about the pilot taking the parcels to run away, we try as much as possible to get a good, should I say, database of the pilot before we employ you or before we hire you as our pilot to dispatch items or parcels. We do thorough kind of investigation about you. We need to. Your guarantor is not just a guarantor. We call your guarantor. We visit your guarantor. We make sure that the person agrees to be responsible for any damage or any loss. You sign. Then we also get your national ID card or voter's card, anything that would identify you as a citizen of Nigeria. And if you loss, go fit find you. As you know, talk, because there's difference between run and loss. If you run, person see you for here, but loss, you go vanish. Even your, how do they call it? You go vanish. Even your shadow follow vanish. So even if you vanish and your shadow vanish, go fit find you. So we try as much as possible to get those details intact, as in from you. Then you're good to go. Then talking about them being kidnapped. Well, I would say everything that happened is we put everything into God's hand. It's God that is protecting. We can, no matter the amount of protection you call for yourself or any other thing, if God is not there, I don't think it really works. So it's God that has been protecting. But we try as much as possible to every of our client that calls or every of our clients, we also try to get the proper address and also the nearest bus stop, as in the nearest bus stop, so that if anything happens, we'll be able to track. And what we are also working on now, since it's like this, we're also working on a tracking device on all our bikes and all our vehicles and all our all our vehicles, so that if anything happens in the next 24 hours or less, we can get a positive response from you. We're able to track you and also know what's happening and all that. And as well, we also try as much as possible also to be calling our riders time to time. We'll call you, how far have you gone? Have you been able to deliver? How is the environment and all that? So even without us, we have this kind of relationship with our expert riders. We have this relationship whereby if we don't call, you also call to update the office. Also call us to update. At the same time, also call your client to update. Okay, I'm here. Where should I follow? If you don't know the route, I'm here. How should I take? Okay, is it close to here? Is it close to here? So that's how we we roll.
So if
Makes
you weren't
everything easy.
doing any of these businesses, what other thing would you have been doing?
Which other thing? Yeah, I don't really think I would be doing any other thing apart from maybe. Let me just say maybe I may not be doing uh, the logistic business, but for entertainment, that one inborn, CARICOM, original. I don't know. I think my brother should be the one to answer this question, whether from the womb I was, punching and all those, doing those acting and should I be maybe in the other way around, maybe I was editing the womb or something. So it's inborn. You understand? It's inborn. It's something that it's passion. It's passion. When they burn something with fuel, it get flame and all that. So it's passion. I don't think I would be doing any other thing apart from the entertainment part of the business.
So what is your advice for people who are waiting for office jobs? I mean, what do you advise them to do instead of sitting at home and doing nothing and waiting for when you get white collar jobs? What is your advice to those people?
Well, I think, should I say, the best advice I'm just going to say a little thing, as I'm just going to like give them an opinion. I'm not giving anybody advice. Why do I say I'm not giving anybody advice? Is that the best advice you give to someone is the one you give to yourself. Even if I sit you down now to advise you, you still go back and do what is in your mind. But I'm just going to give an opinion. Before I give this opinion, let me just throw this in. When I started, I didn't really have, as in, there was a time I was not doing anything. I was not working for anybody. I didn't have my own brand. Understand? I didn't have my own name. I was not doing anything, but I still have this love for photography and cinematography and videography. At that point, I didn't really have camera. Do you know what I did? I have friends, and also I because of the relationship I built with owners of equipment. Maybe if we are going for a location, I'm a kind of person, if I'm coming to your location or if I'm shooting somewhere, understand, or if I'm even like a PA, I must make sure everybody for that location know me. Understand? I must make wahala, like no be that kind of wahala, as in I must make kind of notification wahala, make everybody notice me. I'm that kind of person, notice me. So I will meet this one, talk to this one, meet this one, talk to this one, make friends with almost everybody there. Understand? Even if they vex for me, that your vex now, at the end of the day, you go turn the other way around. So that helps me to create relationship with people that owns these things and people that own studios and all that. So at the end of the day, as what am I trying to say? There was a time I was not doing anything. So what I do is that I try to create my own stuffs. Understand? I have friends that are ladies also that are photogenic. They are into modeling. So I will go there. Oga, sir, boss, I beg, no vex. So sometimes I will just come to your office pretending like nothing happened. I will just sit to watch your mood. Immediately the thing just click. I will say, boss, I beg, no vex. Help your boy, help this my dream. The thing they born. So just help me. If I will use your camera, even if for like 1 hour. Understand? That's how I've been doing. Sometimes some will give me, some will not give me. Understand? I will take the camera. Oh yeah, oh girl, oh boy. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go Sandfield. I'm gonna go here. So I will use that to create some things for myself. Understand? Try to keep myself busy. Come back, edit them. Some people will say, "Wow, how do you?" I didn't. By that time, I didn't really have cameras. So at that point, I said, "Okay, fine. This is passion." Understand? So it's not something I won't tell people out there, because you don't have camera and you don't have gears, you don't have gadgets, you don't have any equipment, and you think, this my dream. Is you can affiliate with someone, you can go to a friend that has it. Nowadays there are a lot of persons that owns cameras, that owns those stuff, but they don't really know what to use it for. Understand? But if you're passionate about what you're doing, you go meet them, you talk to them. Okay, can we do something together? Understand? You can do something together. You collaborate with a friend that owns those equipment. At the end of the day, you even be the one to encourage them. Understand? Encourage them to do. Before you know it, you start doing something. a lot of my friends that are into comedies also. That's how they started. Sometimes they use phone. At the end of the day, when they start seeing results out of what they are doing, starts upgrading to the next level. So my advice, or my how should I put it, or should I say my advice to people that wants to go into photography, cinematography, entertainment industry: don't give up on whatever thing you're doing. If you know, and you know by yourself and yourself alone, that you love the industry and you want to do it, make friends, meet people, make friends with people that understand the business, make friends with people that understands the job, make friends with people that, at least, even if you don't get, may them get laptop or something, so you can go there one time, you learn, you also teach. So from there you begin to grow from strength to strength. Before I drop this, there's a friend of mine. Then we are still doing things together now. Then I don't have a laptop, or I don't have a system, but he has. What I do is that when we start, should I say when I started, as in coming up to from editing. So sometimes I will meet him. Okay, guy, see, I go fit do this, He say, waiting. I will show him on phone. You say, go fit do this. Oh yeah, bring your system. We could try. I will try. I take do am. Oh yeah, see am. But say this one we do now na small thing. Me I go fit do pass you. See this one where I go fit do. Understand? We will be challenging ourselves. At the end of the day, I will say, oh yeah, show me the one we sabi. So he will show me that one. That's how we've been learning. I will teach him. He will teach me. How do we arrive to this stuff? Is challenge. We through a challenge. I can make a human being to vanish from this editing without using plugins or without using any third-party effect or something. This is how I do it. This is how I achieve this. This is how I achieve this. The guy will say, wow, I didn't really know this. But do you know that I can do this more than you? Okay, how do you do it? So we keep challenging ourselves. At the end of the day, we arrive at a particular trick.
So what's your last word to entrepreneurs?
My last word for the entrepreneurs is just be passionate. Whatever thing you're doing, do it well. Do it with passion. Also do it with confidence. Don't do it thinking that you're not doing the right thing. Even if, there's something they always say. If person no encourage you, encourage yourself. If person tell you, say this thing we do, do am well, and you look at 2 times, you see you do am well, try to prove that person wrong. How do you do it? Try to prove that person wrong by doing it ×2. Understand? Someone telling you that your job is not nice or you're not doing it well does not mean that I'm not sure saying that my field be this or na my line be this. You stay back. Understand? There's this saying that is popular. They said winners never quit and quitters never win. So if you quit at that point, you are gone. But if you're right, understand? If you quit at that point, everything don't go. But if you keep on pressing on, keep trying, at the end of the day, you achieve what you were looking for and you come to the top. Alright, my name still remains Goodness. I can do it. That boy from Akwa Ibom State, and keep watching Entrepreneurs Corner on King's Prime TV.
King's Prime TV, a one-stop entertainment website for news, live sports, TV reality shows, and top-notch Nollywood movies. Log on to our website www.kingsprimetv.com, or you can download the app on Google Play Store or Apple Store and get entertained just the way you like it.